Hello students, welcome to your Maths 1 online teaching session. Let us continue with our revision of 5th chapter, that is probability. Now, as you know, we have only 4 chapters for a board exam. So probability chapter might have a weightage of 12 to 15 marks even in the board exam. Very easy chapter if you know the important terms and concept. Extremely easy to score full marks in this chapter. Okay, so let's start the revision. We will start by revising few important terms that we have learned in this chapter. Starting with the definition of probability, the branch of mathematics that measures the uncertainty of occurrence of an event using numbers is called probability. Now, this definition means, if I want to give you an example for it, like if you have a coin and you toss it, you know that the result either it may be a head or it may be a tail, but you are not sure about that 100% you will get head or tail. So that uncertainty which you have in your answer is measured in terms of probability. Okay, so the branch of mathematics that measures the uncertainty of occurrence of an event using numbers is nothing but probability. Next important point is the chance that an event will or will not occur is expressed on a scale ranging from 0 to 1. Now this is very important to remember that the probability answers cannot be negative. It cannot be less than 0 nor it can be more than 1. It cannot be negative or it cannot be more than 1, that is 1.1, 1.2, whatever. It has to be in the range of 0 to 1. It can be 0, it can be 1 or any number between them. But it cannot be less than 0 or it cannot be more than 1. It should lie in this range. Okay. Then it can also be expressed as percentage, where 0% denotes an impossible event and 100% implies a certain event. Now about different type of events I will be telling you in detail. So for now you just understand, if we get 0%, that is also an answer in probability, that 0% is an impossible event. Suppose we get 100%, that also answer is considered in probability as it is a certain event or a sure event definitely going to happen. Okay, depending upon this I have told you that the range in which I should get the answer should lie between 0 to 1. It can be 0, it can be 1, but not less than 0, neither more than 1. So remember this very important few points. Okay, then we have learned about event and outcome. Now what is this outcome? An outcome is a result of a random experiment. Yes, outcome is a result of a random experiment. Random experiment means what? Suppose you are throwing a die or tossing a coin. All those are considered as random experiment. So outcome is a result of that random experiment. I have given you an example here. When we roll a dice, getting 6 is an outcome. Okay, when you roll a die, getting 5 is an outcome, getting 2 is an outcome. So outcome is nothing but the result of random experiment. Then what is an event? Event is a set of outcomes. For example, when we roll a dice, the probability of getting a number less than 5 is an event. Means what? The condition or the question that is given to you is nothing but an event. Depending upon the event, we will be finding probability. I hope you are understanding it. Yes, an event is a set of outcomes. Okay, and what is an outcome? An outcome is a result of random experiment. Then one important point to note, that an event can have a single outcome. Okay, it's not necessary that every time it will have a single outcome. An event can have a single outcome. Then the entire possible set of outcomes of a random experiment is the sample space or the individual space of that experiment. Now I hope you know what is sample space. Sample space means collecting all the possibilities together and writing it in a form of a set. Sample space will have all the elements from where I have to select as per my event. So sample space is the entire possible set of outcomes of a random experiment. The likelihood of occurrence of an event is known as probability. Now this is a definition that we have learned, or the formula, that probability of an event is nothing but number of elements in an event upon total number of elements in the sample space. I hope you are understanding it. So this was a definition. Next thing that I want you to understand is about different type of events. Now first type is elementary event. An event having only one outcome of the experiment is called as an elementary event. Now when you have only one outcome, then such experiments is called as elementary event. I can give you example for this. Take the experiment of tossing a coin n number of times. I have a coin, I am tossing it say 5 times. I am tossing it for 5 times. I know the answer. Either I will get a head or I will get a tail. There is only one outcome for it. Yes or no? So such experiment or such event is called as an elementary event. Then comes the next type of event, that is impossible event. An event that has no chance of occurring is called as an impossible event, that it is not going to occur. Probability, if the event is only not occurring, then probability of course will be 0. See, these are very important concepts. Directly as such, it is not questions based on this is not there in the textbook, but one more question can be framed. Impossible event, probability is 0. If I want to give you an example, probability of getting 7 on the roll of a die is 0. Can you get a number 7 on the dice? No, because maximum number it is having till 6. So as 7 can never be an outcome of this trial, it is an impossible event. And probability of such impossible event is 0. Then next important thing is about sure event. An event that has 100% probability of occurrence is called as a sure event. Now I am definitely sure it is going to happen 100%. So for such event, the probability is 1. Yes, make a note of this also, that probability of a sure event is always 1. Probability of an impossible event is 0. And an element having only one outcome is an elementary event. Okay. For sure event, if I want to give you an example, what is the probability that a number obtained after throwing a die is less than 7? Now on the dice you have numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. I am giving you not any particular number, but instead of that I am telling you it should be a number less than 7. Then definitely I will get any of those 6 numbers. So this is a sure event that is going to happen, or certain event. So probability of this sure event is 1. Yes, I can give you one more example. Suppose you have a dart game or a wheel game, spinner, where numbers are written from 1, 2, 3, 4 till 8. And if I tell you, I want A is an event that the arrow points at a number less than 9. So definitely it is going to point on any of these numbers less than 9 only. So such an event is called as a sure event. I hope all this important type of events you are understanding. One more type is left, that is also very important, that is complementary events. Complementary means what? Complementary events occur when there are only two outcomes. For example, clearing an exam or not clearing an exam. Is it possible that both can hold true at the same time? No, either you clear the exam or you don't clear the exam. So each are complementary. If one event is there, the complementary will not occur. Or if this event is there, this event will not occur. I hope you are understanding it. The word complement means exact opposite of an event. Okay. So complementary event means when there are two outcomes and both do not occur at the same time. So only one possibility is there. For example, suppose I give you an example that probability that it will rain after some time is 0.43, and I ask you what is the probability that it doesn't rain. So both are complementary event. How will you find out? I told you probability answers are always till maximum till 1. So from 1 you can subtract this 0.43. What answer you will get? This will become 9, 10, 7 and 5, 0.57. I hope you are understanding. Such indirect questions can be asked which are not there directly in the textbook for 1 mark. So be prepared and try to understand the different type of events. Then equally likely outcome. This word you must have come across in questions of the practice set. They are equally likely. Means what? That if we have the same possibility of getting each outcome, then it is said to be equally likely outcomes. There is no unfair thing in that. We say a fair die means all possibilities can occur. Okay, that is the meaning of equally likely outcomes. Then the last important point, range of probability of event. This I have already told you, that the range of probability of an event lies between 0 and 1, including 0. Yes, including 0 and 1 both. That is the reason it is told here that probability of an event is less than or equal to 0, or it is less than or equal to 1. It can be 0, it can be 1, but it cannot be less than 0, it cannot be more than 1. Okay, it will lie in that particular range. I hope all these important conditions and definitions you have understood, right? Now in today's session, I will be taking sums based on dice. Okay, so before we do that, let us quickly see the sample space when one die is thrown. I hope everybody knows this, that when one dice is thrown, the sample space will have the 6 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Okay, then in your textbook, you even have questions based on 2 dice thrown together at the same time. Then what should be the sample space for that? Yes, sample space will have this 36 elements. How to remember it? For that also, see, on the first die, this is first die, this is second die. On the first die, you keep one constant throughout 6 times. Yes, 1, 1, 1. And on the second die, you write the numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Same way you do in the second row. Yes, in the second row, what you will do? On the first die, you will keep 2 constant throughout, and then you will change the numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a clue to remember or a hint so that you don't miss out anything. I hope you have understood how to write this sample space having 36 elements. Okay, like this you will do for all the numbers till 6. So here in this case, n of s is how much? N of s is equal to, yes, n of s is equal to 6, and when 2 dice are thrown, n of s is equal to 36. Right? So today we will learn, or we will solve sums based on dice thrown, 1 die and 2 die. Let us see one example sum. A dice is tossed once. Find the probability that of getting an even number or a multiple of 3. Now a die is thrown, only one die. I have to find the probability of getting an even number or a multiple of 3. So first only we will write the sample space. Sample space will have numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the event? A is an event of getting an even number or a multiple of 3. Now out of this 6 which are available here, 6 elements. Yes, first I will circle all the even numbers. 2, 4 and 6. And then what else we want? Multiple of 3. So 6 is a multiple which has already been considered. What is left is 3. So that is the reason this set A will have elements 2, 3, 4 and 6. N of A will be 4. Probability formula is N of A upon N of S. So 4 upon 6. And now very important thing, if you can reduce this, you have to reduce it further. If you don't do it in the board exam, marks will be deducted. So 2 2s are and 2 3s are. So the answer is 2 upon 3. Okay, no need to convert it into decimal point, but if it can be reduced, a fraction can be reduced, you have to reduce it. Right? So this was an easy sum based on one die tossed. Now when we have sums like two different dice are thrown together, let us see one sum based on this concept also. The question is, find the probability that the numbers obtained, first one, have a sum less than 6, second one, have a product less than 16, third one is a doublet of odd numbers. Okay, so now two dice thrown together. For this, first I should have my sample space of 36 elements. Then event A. What is event A? When two dice are thrown together, event A is to have a sum less than 6. Means when I take the sum of this, 1 plus 1. Yes, 1 plus 1 is 2, it is less than 6. 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3, 1 plus 4 is 5. But when I take 1 and 5, 1 plus 5 is 6. I want a number less than 6. So I am going to consider the first 4 elements in the first row. Come to the second row. 2 and 1, 2 and 2, then 2 and 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. I want less than 6. 2 and 4 will not be considered. Next row, 3 and 1, 3 and 2. 3 and 3 again will not be considered because 3 and 3 is 6. I want some less than 6. Then 4 and 1. 4 and 2 will become 6. So don't consider. 5 and 1 again 6. So all this we don't have to consider. So you can see I am getting a triangle here that is formed. All these elements are the elements of that particular event. I hope it is clear. Yes, see, 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 3 1, 3 2 and 4 1. When you count, you will get n of A is equal to 10. Now what we want? The probability of this event. So required probability will be n of a upon n of s. So 10 upon 36, which can be reduced to 2 5s are, yes, and 2 18s are. So the final answer will be 5 upon 18. This was the first sum of this question, first Roman number, that is probability that the number obtained have sum less than 6. Okay. Let us take the second question. Second question is, this is a sample space for us. Having a product less than 16 means what? When you multiply these two numbers, 1 into 1 is 1, 1 into 2 is 2. It should be a product which is less than 16. So let us go to the last number of this row. 1 into 6, it is 6. It means all these possibilities I should consider. Same way the last number of the next row, 2 into 6, it is 12. It means all this has to be considered again. Yes, 3 into 6 is 18. So it means it is greater than 16. I will not consider. 3 5s is 15. Yes, all these numbers will be considered again. Okay, I hope you are understanding it. Then 4 into 1 is 4. 4 into 2 is 8. 4 3s is 12. Yes, 4 4s will become 16 again. So consider all this. 5 into 1 is 5, 5 2s are 10, 5 3s are 15. So from the next row, these elements. 6 1s are 6, 6 2s are 12. Yes, 6 3s will become 18. So don't consider all these elements again. I hope you are understanding this. So when you count all this, you will get a total of 25 elements. So n of b will be 25. The required probability will be P of B is equal to n of B upon n of S. So n of S was 36 and this I have got 25. So 25 upon 36. If it cannot be reduced, leave it as it is. No need to convert it into a decimal fraction. Okay. So 25 upon 36. Let's see the last event. That C is an event that a number obtained is a doublet of an odd number. Now doublet means, I hope you understand that same number should be repeated. It should be 1 1, 2 2, 3 3, 4 4, 5 5 and 6 6. But in this particular sum, they have specified that they want a doublet, right? So when they want a doublet means when I take 1 1, this is okay, it is an odd number, 1 1. But when I consider 2 2, is it an odd number? No. So this you don't consider. 3 3 is okay. But when I take 4 4, again these are even numbers, so don't consider. 5 5 is again an odd number, so we can take. But when we take 6 6, it is again an even number, so don't consider. I hope you are understanding. If this word is not there, we would have considered all these 6 possibilities. But since they want a doublet and that to an odd number, so we'll consider this 3 possibilities, 1 1, 3 3 and 5 5. I hope the concept is clear. Yes. So how many elements in set element in the set C? It will be 3. Required probability will be P of C is equal to n of C upon n of S. So 3 upon 36, which can be reduced to 1 upon 12. Correct? I hope all these sums you have understood. In today's session, I have covered the basic concepts of probability and sums based on dice, 1 die and 2 die. I hope we have revised it properly. We'll continue with the remaining part of the chapter in the next session. Till then, thank you and goodbye.